All right, live stream's good and starting the recording back up.
Perfect. Good morning, everyone. Melissa, do you want to say any welcoming words today?
Yeah, we're a small but mighty group this lovely January after a holiday. So I appreciate everybody showing up. And believe it or not, you are not my first meeting of the day. I had one right at 8 a.m. and that group was even more smaller and mightier. So appreciate the groups keep getting bigger as the day goes on. I just wanted to thank everybody for joining again. We're going to do a lot of really good group work, and I'm really looking forward to some strong recommendations to come back to really help our program. So with that being said, I'm going to just turn it over to Megan and her group.
Perfect. Well, good morning again, everybody. We have a couple quick things before we split into our work groups, and really that will be the bulk of our time today. So we've started a new monthly tradition of starting with people's bright spots and innovations. So just anything that's happening in your world kind of connected to childcare, early childhood. We really want to take time to celebrate things that are happening locally and across the state. So if anybody has anything they want to share, feel free to come off mute, or you can put it in the chat as well.
Hi, everybody. It's Amanda Peterson at KSDE. My tolerance for silence needs to build back up after a holiday. But something that I'm really excited about, we have our Council of Superintendents meeting coming up tomorrow, which is an opportunity for all of the superintendents in the state of Kansas to get together. And we are partnering with the Kansas Department of Commerce to bring them information about the Community Development Block Grant program that the Department of Commerce offers, to make available funding to support capital projects related to, and one of the allowable uses is construction or renovation of facilities, to make them into childcare facilities. And this administration has set aside a certain amount of those funds to be available for childcare. And so it's really exciting to be able to see these partnerships come together and to have the interest of that group, to really have it be it's always a bit of a, I don't want to say a competition, but it's always a tough ask to be able to get time on the agenda, because it's always a really busy meeting. And so to be able to say, yep, we've got resources, we know that this is a topic of interest to the group, and to have great partners who are able to come in and present on it is something that I'm really excited about this week.
That's fantastic, Amanda. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, Amanda, to build upon that, I think I have had more superintendents sit in on home orientation over this last year than we ever have. And it's so humbling to see them like, I'm going to paint the walls. We're going to get all this going so that we have this resource open at the beginning of school year. And so to see that move forward in a larger scale is very exciting. So really excited to see that happening.
Great. Anybody else? We know there's a lot of good stuff happening. Okay, well, I think we're all still settling back in after the long weekend. Our brains are still getting going. So we will come back next month and hopefully have even more to share. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Amanda. Put that information about that Community Development Block Grant in the chat. Okay, so we really are spending the rest of our time today in our work group. So we're not going to come back to discuss, just because we know people are in kind of different places. The goal of this meeting and next meeting is to take the discussion that's been happening in the groups so far and actually put them into a recommendation, or depending on your conversation, multiple recommendations. So those of you who have been with the SIT for a while, this will feel like a familiar process of actually putting it into a recommendation template. If you're new, don't worry, it's pretty self-explanatory. But essentially the idea is that we'll present these recommendations for the group to discuss and make sure everybody feels, at least comfortable putting them forward to childcare licensing following the February meeting. So you can actually ignore the third bullet because we're not going to come back together, but your facilitator will kind of walk you through what that recommendation template looks like and the process. So yeah, I think with that, we're ready to break into your groups. If anybody needs a reminder of where they're supposed to go, let us know. But otherwise, we will, we wish you a good group discussion, and we will see you together next time. So it's a brief time together this morning, but I think it'll be worth it for some good discussion in the groups. Any final questions before we switch into our breakouts? Okay. Have a good time in your groups.
Oh, let me get you 1 second. Marcy, Penner, LMNOB, Marcy, I think she's on this one. Provider supports, Marcy.
Hi there. But what are the other ones? I thought I asked last time to be switched.
You did?
Well-
We have system engagement and coordination, and then we have regulations and best practices.
Okay, I bet this is the one I wanted to be switched to.
Yeah, I think so. You were switched from regulations and best practices into provider supports.
Okay, I'll go to it now. Thank you, Julia.
No problem, Marcy. Give me 1 second and I will get you all into your work groups.